enjoy the beers. Yes, Rasco and Disco beer review with me, Disco, coming at you with another beer video live from in front of the cans and bottles and t-shirts and everything else here on the bar. I'm still polished to call in the Disco Arms. And yes, good evening, thanks for popping in, everybody. I wasn't sure what we was doing this around the time. Because of the Euros and the footing ball being on, I must admit, I'm not really that bothered about the football this time. I've been watching, obviously, the England games. I watched the Scotland games, and I feel a bit deflated by it all. So let's probably not talk about the football. Let's talk about the beer. So, as always, in an attempt to bash the stash, this is a bash the stash style show. I've got 3 beers lined up. Good evening, Mr. Wilson. Simo, good evening to you. Thank you for dropping in. Anybody got some beers on? Anybody got some European beers? That is the question. I don't really particularly collect beers from Europe. These aren't even beers from Beers of Europe. These are just randomly collected beers. I suppose let's put them up. I was going to come into the beginning of the show with a pop top, but I put it in the intro instead. So yeah, I've got 3 beers all with pop tops because going to answer the question today, doesn't everybody love a pop top? This could be dangerous because pop tops often or have been known to have a bit of a habit of going bloody everywhere, and I'm sat right in front of the laptop, so we shall see. So I put it up as a mystery beer as well because I know absolutely nothing about any of these beers particularly. I had a little look around at the first one for a video. It's actually coming out tomorrow. I did another of these beers by this brewery. This one is a Polish beer. I'm going to move them up there out of the way. We'll come to them accordingly. So this is a Polish beer to start with. Let's get it out into a glass. 5 people in. Thank you very much indeed for popping in as you go. So let's have a little countdown to pop the first beer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everybody loves a pop top. Love it. Don't know why. Maybe it's just the childishness of making loud noises. I had a bit of a loud noise today when I accidentally cut into a key keg. Hadn't been depressurized. Kind of blew up pretty much in my face, but luckily I'm here to tell the tale. Don't think I meant to tell you that. But yeah, that was quite a loud noise, and so was that one. So I know nothing about this beer, apart from what I see on the label, and because I don't speak very much Polish, as you'll see in the video tomorrow. There we go, nice little green label. I thought it might be a pale ale, if only by the colour of the label. I've got a magnifying glass out, so we'll have a little look a bit more. My only problem with pop tops is the top flopping about. Pop top, flop top. So yeah, I've got the old magnifying glass. So if anybody knows about any of these beers, do let me know. I've got this one, as I say, from Poland. I've got a Belgian stout and a German stout. Now, forgive me, but although I don't know too much about European beers, I don't think you see stouts from Germany or Belgium that often. So they kind of intrigue me. Whilst that's got a nice creamy head on it, fits nicely into that glass. Let's go and do the quick photograph. Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Oh, well done. And the ticker. Yeah, let's do the ticker whilst we're at. Beer number 1, please. So at the moment, all I've got on there, beer number 1, is Staropolski from Poland. So I'm going to have a little look as we go, and see if I can fill that banner out by the time I get to the bottom of the glass. Let's just take the photograph whilst I've got the time and the light. Still haven't got around to working out how to do this better. And in fact, last week, say last week, I didn't even get round to posting them because I went into the brewery on the Thursday and ended up a little bit busy. And I kind of never quite got around to it. There's the photograph. Liking that. Looking pretty good. It's only just about in focus, but that'll do for me. As you know, I'm not particularly fussy. So yeah, this is beer from Staropolski. As I said, I had one a while back, and it's taken me far too long to get the video out. That was a dark beer. This one is much paler. Now, obviously, when we say Poland, probably think of lagers, Tyskie and the like, but it looks like there's some other stuff about. Simo's off a couple of nights ago on the family Saturday for his birthday, so so taking it easy during the week. I haven't had really too much in the way of beer this week. In fact, last week I forgot to get any beer sorted for the match last night. Did watch it. Well, I had a beer from Perival, obviously, because that's what I happened to have quickly, and I had a Spanish beer, Spanish porter from Basqueland. And yeah, it was about as good as it gets, really, as was the football, I suppose. Let's not talk about the football, onto the beer. Right, so as you can see, yeah, nice pale golden kind of looking colour. It's interesting, there's a big kind of malty note on the nose, actually, rather than sort of any kind of hoppy IPA pale notes. It's been in the fridge all day, so let's get down my neck. It's been one of them days. That is a very nice, very well balanced. It might be a blonde ale or a golden ale. It's very kind of malt forward, so it's more malty than your average kind of pale ale. So I think that's some kind of amber ale or touch of like Belgian blonde going on there. It's got, so as I say, some nice golden kind of malt notes, some kind of slight marmaladiness, touch of honey, I reckon. That's a really, really nice beer. As I don't know that much about Polish beers, apart from, as I say, the kind of lagers and Tyskies and strong stuff, I can't say, I'm not saying it's a nice beer for a Polish brewery because I don't know anything about it. I like that. That's really nice. I'll tell you what, there's some lacing developing already there for some big slurps. There's a very slight kind of sort of hop burr to it. There's not much on the hops. They're not big, bold in your face. It's well balanced across that kind of bready, malty note. And I really like that. That's a really good afternoon little tipple. I didn't even bother looking at the thing too much. I wanted to see what I can find. Before I do, I'm going to give it a quick guess because it's a mystery beer. I'm going to say it's around about 5%. There's some good strength in and around those malt notes, so I reckon it's around about 5.5. Let's see. Right, so I don't know who this guy is. Dumny the History. Okay, so this guy on the bottle is Kazimierz III. Lived from 1310 to 1370. Not bad, 60 years in those times. So maybe. No, there we go, 5.5%. Shmilny, it says on there. So yeah, 5.5%. Luke John, good evening. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. I know that's an interesting one. Lager pale on Untapped. Now you see, this is where a good example, I guess, of looking at stuff on Untapped, as long as you take it for what it is, whether it's correct or not. I'll never look at Untapped. I'm doing these beers not having looked up. I have actually looked up this company, this brewery, as I say, for the video that's coming out tomorrow. I'll show you more about that a little bit later. Staropolsky, but it's kind of almost too much information, and none of it I can read. I did put some on the other bottle. Staropolsky into a translator to see what I could find, and I still didn't come up with a lot, to be fair. So I can't see anything where it says, well, it's all in Polish, and I'm not going to attempt to read the Polish because there are far too many consonants for my liking. But yeah, 500ml bottle. So I guess, yeah, so like a pale ale brewed with lager yeast, maybe. I can see that. It's kind of like, yeah, it's like an amber lager. I tell you what, it reminds me of a little bit Crumbs Brewing down in Sussex. There's another one a bit like Toast, who do a lot of stuff with reused, recycled bread products, and they do an amber ale. It's not lagered, but it's an amber ale. It's very reminiscent of this. Very difficult to pick up anything lager on that, but I see. Definitely got those kind of malty forward notes of an amber ale or an amber lager. Say a little bit of honey. Good sweetness, ever such a touch of hop burr. On the last one, I picked out the hops. No! You won't be able to see this. The first thing I zoomed in on there was Citra. It says Citra. I guess the Polish for Citra is Citra. Hallertau Tradition. I think this brewery used that a lot because it was on the last one. Magnum. So it says Schmili, and then, that must be the hops. Magnum, Sibilia, Hallertau Tradition, Citra, and then something else that doesn't look like a hop at all. Best before 16 for the first 2025. Pick this one up. My local, a local bottle shop. It's not even really a bottle shop. It's not a place I've ever been to before. I keep walking past it on my way home from work. As I mentioned in the video that comes out tomorrow, I'll show you a picture of it. Well, Jay, good to see you, Rod. Thanks for popping in. Cheers. Hope you're enjoying a beer or two. It's late afternoon where you is. Yeah, it's a place called Whiskey's Mart. So I've always I've always just walked past because I never really need to buy any whiskey or any other spirits, particularly for that matter. But funny enough, as I happened to be on that side of the road, these beers caught my eye. So I popped in actually to get the one I've got coming out tomorrow. Let's have a little look, shall we? Wrong one. Well, that was well arrived, that one. Maybe it's this one. Everyone loves a pop top. I chose the brown label. I like the label. It's a really traditional kind of beer label. ALK 5%, which I presume means ABV, but it also says EKSTR 12% wax. So is it a 5% beer or a 12% beer? It's middle of the afternoon, hoping it's 5, but I'm pleasantly surprised, but secretly, obviously, not so secretly, very, very pleased indeed. Certainly the Czech latte chocolate, maybe like a cocoa powder cup. As on that one. Check out the other range. No doubt there will be people in the comments that know much more from or wherever you're drinking them. I'm in Disco Rascal Disco beer review. Join me again for another mystery beer. We've got a few others coming up and some other beer videos. And cheers at the end to watch some other stuff along the way whilst you're waiting. Cheers and enjoy the beers. Thank you. There we go. A little highlight. Is it a highlight? I just clicked through. I didn't get a chance to put a highlights reel together. Yeah, but that's a video I'm going to put out. It's ready to go, so I'll put it up tomorrow. Where's it gone? That's this beer. That's the dark version, also from Staropolski. Still don't know anything too much about the brewery. Let me know if anybody does. I missed a comment up there. Mr. Wilson is on the Phantom Brewing West Coast Ball Pit. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, so generally, what do we feel about pop top beers and why don't we see them more often? I imagine it's kind of a price thing in terms of breweries getting them out more. Do pop tops bring a better kind of thing to the beer? Or is it just a piece of fun on opening them? Because I just love doing the pop thing. My experience with pop tops fairly limited, to be fair, and this is really the only three. Oh no, I've got a couple in the collection. I've got the Titanic beers, the Plum Porter and the Cherry Dark that are in pop tops, but that's the port infused versions, and the what's the spirit they use in the Cherry Dark? Amaretto infused version. So I've got them to come at some point. I've had them in the stash far too long, so I could do another pop top version live with those. My main memory of pop tops is Grolsch. Does anybody remember Grolsch in probably early 90s? I think that was always a good thing about pop tops. You could always pick them up in this country and bottle shops and slightly dubious off licenses. They were good fun. But yeah, pop tops, don't really see them here very often. I'm kind of interested to know why. I don't know enough about them because I don't see them. I think more European where they return them. Grolsch back in, yeah, see us in the Grolsch. Yeah, no returns on these ones. As I say, this one I picked up on my it's kind of localish on the way home from work. It has a good range of European beers, so I might return. Actually, I'll return for this one. I saw the stout, the dark beer first of all, but it's got some Czech beers in as well. And as you know, I kind of have a little side interest in Czech beers, so I might go back and check them out as well. I might still next week. If I'm supposed to be doing trying to do these lives once a week. And thank you all for joining once a week. I missed out last week, mostly because of in and around the football and being a bit busy at work and stuff. I just didn't have time to get back on a Wednesday. So this is the first live for a couple of weeks, and I still haven't got any videos out apart from the one coming tomorrow because that's taken me far too long to edit and do like some extra bits with. So hopefully I get another one out. But I've got some more European beers. Again, I know absolutely nothing about. Really pleased with this one. It's a good start. This didn't really last down the glass, but there's some good foam staying around the top. I really like that. I could drink that again quite happily. How's everybody's day been? It's been a bit warm today, eh? I was working away today at the brewery, getting some beer in the packages, and it was a proper warm. It's far too warm for a hat, even at this time of the evening. I'm glad to see it's still light out there, but I had to wear a hat because I'm having a very, very bad hair day. I'm sort of crashing through this far too fast. A, because it is a very, very crashable beer. You can crash through it. Like I say, it's got nice balance, good sweetness, touch of hot burr, touch of bitterness, but it's just really nicely balanced all across the beer. So as always, I'll smash through the beer and on to the next one, I guess. Long hot day dragged by. Fair play. Sorry to hear that. But yeah, it's been very, very hot. But a few days of this, we'll get a bit of rain, which will cool everything down, if not momentarily. Always amazes me. Last week, a lot of people, especially at the farm, going, "Oh, when's summertime going to start? Oh no, British weather, blah blah blah." And then this week, oh, it's too hot. It always amazes me people do that, like every year. It's like the weather happens the same thing kind of every year by various degrees. And still you get people going on about the weather. It's like, just get on with it, man. It's like, straight into opinion there. Always try not to do opinion. It's meant to be about the beer. But that's what happens when you get live beer waffle. You just kind of waffle on. Yeah, I need to get some people on the show, man. I keep going to go, oh, do you want to come on? Do you want to do a beer? But as I say, I like to have this like show where I do like something that means something that's like focusing on the beer. It's never really about me. It's always about the beer, or I like it to be about the beer. So I kind of like have a theme running through. Yeah, I need to get some other people on to have a chat about a particular theme. Let me know if you got any ideas. So that one, Polish beer, Staropolski. I haven't really added to the banner, have I? And it hasn't really mattered, to be fair. I've got to take it off to edit. Can't live edit these. So 5.5%. I'll take the lager suggestion from Untapped. Lager pale. See, I still think it's a pale. I still think it's amber, like an amber ale. So, well, it's kind of that the whole sleuthing out the thing I'll put in the description. Does anybody ever read the descriptions, by the way, in these videos? There we go. Right, yeah, so 5.5%. Really nice pale beer. Let's put that one to the side. Let's go on to the second beer now. Kind of an odd little one, this one. Kind of the reason I put about detective work and getting this one. It's called Hercule. Again, I haven't looked at any of the stuff there, and my eyesight's not good enough to read it straight on there, by the way. So a little dinky bottle, this one. I should imagine that's 375, but we'll get the magnifying glass out in a minute. So if everybody's ready, let's go to beer number 2, please. So, yeah, all I know is from Belgium. Obviously, with a name like Hercule, it's bound to be. Can't see anything that says Belgium, so let's get into a glass and see exactly the stout I'm getting, and let's confirm that Belgianness. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pop. Whoa. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. So that's gone everywhere, but thankfully not on the laptop. A little bit of an over spillage, and I haven't really got anything. That's going to stain that lovely bit of wood nicely, isn't it? That's called experience. It's just I wonder it's because I kept it, well, not warm. It's definitely in the cool bit of the cupboard. Maybe I should have just put it in the fridge a little bit. I thought it was going to be awkward. Yeah, I think that's a little too warm, even for a stout. It's kind of... Who said YouTube was easy, man? Meant to just pour the beers and drink them, for fuck's sake. But, well, there we go. I'm going to leave that one to settle. Right. So, David, you know what I'm getting into then. Yeah, that was a discussion point, though. Like stouts in Belgium. Normally, you know, you might get a Belgian triple or whatever, but don't really see much in the way of stouts from Belgium. Not really any idea why that is, but I'm getting really worried for the German stout now. It's been in the fridge for a while, so hopefully it'll be okay. Let's have a look on the bottle, see what we can find whilst we wait for that to chill down a little bit. Well, at least it didn't hit the ceiling anyway. I mean, the ceiling does need repainting in this gap. Does need repainting brown. Let's have a little look. What can we see here? Oh yeah, definitely Belgian beer. Belgian, not Belgian beer, Belgian. Sadly, the rest is in. Hesitate to say Belgian because it's Flemish, isn't it? Or is it French? 11/25, nice long date on it. Didn't see that. That's just a nice little. That's probably why it's in a 375ml glass. Tasty little 9% stout here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's 330. 100% terroir. Now, I don't know the word terroir. It's a really complicated, difficult little word for a 6-letter word. TERROIR. That's 7. But yeah, Craft Beer Channel did a video about terroir, and it's like the aroma that you get, something like the aroma that will tell you everything about the thing it is you're smelling. I can see that. I suppose it's gonna, I imagine, hopefully be some kind of like nice coffee, chocolatey aroma. Maybe some sticky sweetness, maybe some kind of cigar smoke kind of thing going on, like the one the other week. 36% IBU. Never understood IBUs. Oh, here we go. No, they do translation. So I think it is in Flemish, French, Flemish, and finally English. And it says, "A master brewer elaborates our beer in Elazels, in the heart of the Pays de Collines." Now, I don't know where any of those places are. There's some stickiness going on there. It's really going to stain that wood. Nice, interesting brown colour. You can't see it here, but it's actually stained the wood into the face of a Labrador or Terrier. There's like a nose at the front and 2 eyes where the wood's kind of thing. And it's all stained it like a brown Labrador. Sadly, I can't. Well, actually, maybe I can. Come on, let's have a look. Let's take that off of there. See if you can see. I like seeing faces and things. There's a thing for that as well. Can you see? Can you see the Labrador? Little Labrador pup. Or am I just seeing things? What do you reckon? See the 2 eyes and the little brown nose? Definitely a moist enough nose. These kind of things amuse me, eh? Hopefully they amuse you guys too. Otherwise, I'm just waffling to myself. Right, let's get around and take that photograph now that head is dissipated slightly. Do let me know in the comments if you can see what I can see in the wood staining with that little terrier. Or is it Labrador? Right, let's do the photo. Actually, let's do the photo there. Why not? Because then we get... Actually, from this end, this side, there's a dog in the photo as well. No, that doesn't work. Never mind. Oh. Trouble with doing stouts at this or even any time of night. Just get the reflections. That annoys me, but what can you do? Yeah, so a lovely sticky 9% stout. Casually chucked into the glass without realising, but hey ho, what can you do? What can you do? You can drink it. Hey, Shark Home Brewing, popping in. Good to see you, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Saying hello to everyone. Right, let's have a look at this terroir then, see what we can get in the glass. As you see, a nicely dark brown, but hinging on the side of black. As always about this time of night, nose starts to get a little blocked off when I get the sniffles. I think my nose doesn't like me being on YouTube. Definitely a nice dark malted spiritiness going on the nose. Something I'm trying is like, I don't know, I'm getting kind of like cognac or something. Do you know what I mean? Like a kind of delicate dark spirit of some kind. It's not rum. Somewhere between cognac and red wine, something like that. Don't go around sniffing red wine that much. Although I did have to last week because we got some on the bar. Anyway, so yeah, a 9% Belgian stout. Cheers. Oh, let's see what this is. Whoa. 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 Well, yes, indeed. Whoa, that's a big hit. There's a big hit of kind of that maltiness there. A big hit of kind of, it's more kind of like rye bread kind of maltiness. Kind of a sort of, yeah, like kind of molasses kind of like that Scandinavian kind of dark rye bread kind of thing going on. But with a big nose clearing hit of spiritiness. Not so much in the way of chocolate or coffee particularly. There's hints of cold brew coffee in there. Somebody's saying get off YouTube. Yeah, I might be allergic to YouTube. I think I'm just allergic to life in general, really. I've always had trouble with my nose, backs off the back of asthma and stuff like that. Some dodgy sinuses. But yeah, revert back to Instagram. Well, we had enough trouble with Instagram in the Instagram days. It's kind of how we started before we finally got over to YouTube. Arguably, should have just stuck with YouTube in the first place. We'd probably be a lot further along the line. But mustn't grumble. It doesn't really matter which one we do, to be fair. I'm just waffling about beer and enjoying a little drink with you guys. Cheers. And again, some alcohol legs on that with a little bit of lacing going on there. I hesitate to say now a little bit of licorice maybe as well. Dave Wilson, you said you've had this one before. Can you remember what you was picking up that time? You've had it must have been around a fair while. I picked this one up on a random order from Trembling Madness. I got in a bit of a rush and I can't remember why I picked it up, but I think it was when I was thinking of like doing a series of videos about like unknown European beers. So I was picking some bits and bobs up from Trembling Madness, and I thought, well, let's make up the order a little bit with some completely random unknown stuff. It'll be fun to find out about these beers. I haven't really found out that much. Probably let's have a little look. Should we do some Googleizing? Because I did Googleize Star Podholski, and I did find the website, and there were some bits and bobs. Hercule, Belgian. Oh, it would be helpful if I could spell. That would be good. But obviously, Google does the corrections for you. Brothers, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. Oh, if I knew how to drive this, that would be lovely. StreamYard doesn't make it easy, to be fair. It'd be nice to have a little kind of like just actual way of doing it, rather than having to go all the way back through the windows. Oh, there we go, that's better. Named after the famed Belgian detective Hercule Poirot and considered a world classic. Really? Hang on. Made in small batches, then lagered for 10 days in German oak casks. Hercule is considered by many to be a classic. It is very malty but dry, with a hint of sweetness in the finish and perfectly hopped. There's a slight hop bitterness coming through on the edge. The Belgian Beer Company, there it is. There we go. £6.93. Oh no, that's not who it is. That's a company. What sells it? I definitely didn't pay £6.93. Beer Merchants. That's where I'm getting this information from. Brasserie des Légendes. Brewery combines tradition and technology to produce top fermented beer, rich in flavour and compliance with quality standards, and blah blah blah. It has a very distinctive and intoxicating spicy aroma of fresh get out of it, the adverts, of fresh spruce that suddenly, irresistibly fills the room when the swing top is released. I think that might be either selling the aroma. I know I've got a dodgy nose, but okay, it had to be pointed out to me, but I suppose I can see some spice in that. I'll smell some spice and some spruce, maybe. There's a little bit of piney. That's where the bitterness comes from, maybe. This unique house character probably derives from the strains of yeast used by the brewery and possibly from the fermentation in oak. And because the beer is made entirely of malt and hops without any spices or sugar. There must be a little bit of conditioning sugar, surely. No, maybe not. I don't know. Made entirely of malt and hops without any spices or sugar. Well, the malt provides the sugar, surely. That's how beer works. I'm not claiming to be an expert now that I work at a brewery, but I'm just surmising, really, there. 6 reviews. 5 stars, 4 stars. Dark coffee chocolate, quite malty but dry with a hint of sweetness on the finish. Quite thin and would benefit for slightly thicker body. Yeah, that's everybody wants that from a stout. But stouts don't have to be thick-bodied like Guinness, voluptuous, velvet kind of stouts. There's definitely some body there. It's not completely thin. I've had thinner. Easy drinking for 9%. That's fair play. Yeah, finish is dry but not too stringent. No, definitely no astringency there. Generally quite favourable. Pretty good stout. Thanks for that, Lucy. A gem of a stout. Nutty. Yeah, I suppose there is a nuttiness. Maybe kind of like there's a slight hazelnut note to it. That's where the woodiness, where it says, that's kind of where the oak comes about. Funny enough, I was drinking an oat beer today, actually, up the brewery. We was packaging a beer that was had oak and oak leaves in the brew. That, all being well, should be out at Ealing Beer Festival. It was a beer we made with the organisers at Camera for Ealing Beer Festival next month. I wouldn't have thought to put oak leaves in a beer, but seeing as you put it in oak barrels, there is definitely much more oakiness coming through a bit later. That's a kind of like the slight bitterness at the back, There's a kind of woody note coming through, but it's kind of hidden with those darker chocolatey malt. Yeah, man. Actual oak leaves, and actual oak leaves. I'm not sure I meant to say this, but actual oak leaves off the tree and the centre of the park where the beer festival is going to be. I always assumed. I mean, you get, as I say, you get like we got this beer called Beaver, and we put oak blocks in that, along with willow bark, to give that kind of slight astringency, slight kind of woody note to it. So yeah, this one has got say oak leaves from the actual tree around the beer festival. The beer festival is around, but also on is it fermentation or is it packaging, conditioning, packaging? He's put some oak chips in as well. So it's got that kind of woodiness. Yeah, it's not quite barrel aging. It's kind of to give that note of barrel aging in a way, but more the woody, astringent bitterness of oak, rather than the kind of background spiritiness of a barrel aged beer. So it's more about the body of the beer having that kind of woody, kind of tannin kind of notes, but in and around. Do you know what? Again, I'm not sure what it's going to be. Whether I've seen it. It's kind of a dark golden ale stroke best bitter. I don't think the oak leaves necessarily add. Maybe the oak chips add the kind of that golden color to it as well. But yeah, this is the brewery I'm at. He's not afraid to do something a little bit weird. Bear in mind, this is the same brewery that brought you Japanese knotweed sour and prawns in a prawn cocktail IPA, among many other things. The other one we've got, hopefully, is using hay, cut grass in a beer to give that kind of grassy kind of note. Hopefully coming out tomorrow. So yeah, that's the thing about Pervo Brewery. He's got that kind of license to do something a little bit unusual. I would have always imagined that oak leaves themselves, although you have oak barrels and oak blocks and chips, to give that woody note. I've always would have imagined that oak leaves are, if not poisonous, but to astringency bitter and stuff like that. But evidently perfectly fine, and it works. Georgia 2 up against Portugal. Okay, we've got the next round, but Portugal losing is just funny always round. Thanks for that, brothers. That's really kind of cheered me up, to be honest. As it stands, we've got Slovakia in next round. So we've had Serbia, Slovenia, Slovakia. Oh, well, that's all right. That's all right. I haven't got any Slovakian beers, but I've got one or two Czech ones. I've got a Slovakian beer and a Czech one too. Czech one too. No, that's a sound engineer. In lieu of Davies. Slurpy Dave's bad jokes. But look at that, though. For 9% beer. I know it's a small bottle, but once again, smashing through it far too quickly. Oh, well, what can you do? It's a Wednesday night. I've got to be at work tomorrow. We're brewing tomorrow. But what can you do? What can you do? Anybody else joining me for beer? I know Dave Wilson had one earlier. Anybody else got a beer on? Anything interesting? Any stouts? How do we feel about stouts this time of year? It's far too hot for a stout. The next one's been in the fridge for about 18 months when I actually got it. So that could be interesting and different again. I really like this beer. This is nice. It's kind of different again. Talking of stouts and short and stout, JSME, thanks for looking in all the way as ever from down under. Smashing through some kind of fairly unknown beers. I don't really know what I'm looking at here, apart from, well, this one, 9% stout. Really nice, from Belgium. Yeah, I'm enjoying that kind of slight bitterness, that slight tannin, that oakiness, that woodiness. small confession, I have an odd phobia of damp wood, like lolly sticks and cutlery. But obviously, I don't mind anything that comes out of a wooden barrel. But do you remember that thing a few years back, Brute IPA? That was kind of woodiness. And it just gave me that kind of tongue sensation of licking a lolly stick. That really just, you know what I mean? Made me flinch a bit. This is going towards that a little bit now. That woodiness is coming out a bit more. It's kind of like licking an oak block. Yeah, there we go. Somebody's got my back. Stouts all year round. It's not just a winter drink. It's not even a summer drink. It's just a drink that you can have all year round whenever the mood takes you, especially in the evenings. You know what I mean? I always like to finish on a stout, something dark and heavy, especially on a session. A few lighter ones to start with, and then the stout. I mean, it's still not really getting dark here at 9:30. Got about 20 minutes of daylight left, so you can drink stouts in the daylight. Even 9%, kind of pseudo. Yeah, that's it. Pseudo barrel aging. It's not quite barrel aged, but it gives you that kind of feeling that it's kind of been through some kind of, especially with the 9%. Your basic stout is good all year round. Yeah, how about a 9% stout? I mean, you wouldn't be smashing this on a daily basis, but yeah, it's got that dryness to it. And yeah, it's not that hoppy kind of Sabro kind of dryness. It's weird because I don't like that dryness generally. You get those dry stouts, and I'm like, I just want to smash through it and have something really sweet, sticky, and like easy to drink. This one's a bit more complex with that kind of woody note. It's definitely not a basic stout. I mean, the malt bill or the makeup of the beer might be fairly basic, but that kind of, I mean, can you say it's barrel aged if it's been in there, what did it say, 6 weeks? And I still don't know enough about lager, apart from how to drink it, to know about lager in a stout. It's Baltic porter, isn't it? But it's definitely interesting. I can't remember how much I paid for this in off a House of Trembling Madness. I just chucked it in because it looked really interesting. And it's a pop top. What did I say? Oh, I did find out the brewery, didn't I? Cerveza Extra, Birra Doppio Molto. Isn't that beer in itself, or is that just catering to the Italian? Okay, yeah, so catering to the Italian market. Mind you, the Italians do love a big, strong beer from time to time. So everyone's a big fans of like export beers. See what else I can find. 100% natural. Yeah, well, pretty much. Re-fermented in bottle. I think they mean conditioned rather than re-fermented. I suppose there's a certain amount of fermentation in the bottle, secondary. But yeah, 9% Belgian stout. Oh, done it again. Forgot to pointlessly update the banner. That's why I was looking for the. So I was looking for the information and just for future reference, really. What did we say the brewery was? We did say. Can anybody remember what I said the brewery name was? Oh, there we go. Brasserie de Legendes. See if I can spell that out. Does that look about right? Oh, fuck. Yeah, Brasserie des Legendes. Brewery Legends, I guess. Hey, Paul's in the house. Greetings, greetings. Thanks for popping in. We're doing some random European beers. This is a 9% Belgian stout called Hercule. Didn't take a lot of detective work, that is, just a little bit of Googling, but there you go. Really interesting beer. It's, I suppose, fairly balanced for a 9%. It's got that kind of woody note, some tannins going on from the barrel aging that we found out just now. Little bit dry for my liking as a stout. Got another stout coming up. Nice big bottle of German stout. And if I'm saying you don't see Belgian stouts too much, I don't think you see too much stouts from Germany either. Certainly not exactly well known. So let's get this down the hatch and get on to that final beer. Cheers all. Thanks for popping in, everyone. It was nice. Definitely interesting. Certainly different. There's that licorice kind of thing coming through again right at the end. And that kind of woody oakiness going on. Interesting. Let's refresh the palate. Not afraid of putting a bit of water across. Not necessarily for hydration purposes. Just to cleanse the palate. Right, well, that one went all over the place. Let's see what this one does. It's a 500ml bottle. Picked this one up probably 18 months ago now. But being it's a stout, it's probably going to be okay. The only information I did briefly see is it's called Schwarze Madonna, which means black Madonna. I believe in my limited capacity as a vague German speaker about 30 years ago at school. What should we do? That's the question I was going to ask. Shall I go for a normal regular old pint glass for this one? Or do stouts work? Do stouts work in steins? Well, it's not a stein, obviously. It's an assimilation of a stein. What do we reckon? Comments, everybody, please. Should I put this one into the big handle or just a regular pint glass? Can't set up a... I should have set that up from the start. I should have set up a poll. What do you reckon? Stein or regular pint glass for this one? That's the options. Night shift. Oh dear, not feeling very well. In that case, you need some brandy, sir. Medicinal purposes, you understand. After 2 brandies, you won't really care about the whether you're feeling well or not. Just want another brandy. That's what I'm going with. It was a warm one. Yes, it was, rather. I was packaging beer in that, which is probably slightly better than actually brewing. But there was still a fair bit of heat. Obviously, as everybody in this chat, I think knows, Paul's working out a brewery too. Good old Creative Juices. Cheeky Life and Death IPA. Why not? Why not? Good stuff. I started on a Polish beer. Oh, no, that was nice and light. Golden lager, pale, kind of. I don't really know what it was still, and I've drunk it, but I really enjoyed it. Well, there we go. I had a feeling somebody would say go to Stein. That's why I got it out, but there we go. Yeah, might as well put it into that. I need to clean my glasses better. Right, I'm really worried about this one because, like I say, it's been sitting in the stash 18 months. I picked it up from my local bottle shop, which is kind of the nearest shop to me, a beer asylum. Sadly, closed in April of this year. Was it March? April of this year. But I got it. Picked it up when I was doing that kind of that little series that Scott and Wonders World, or Scott Reviews Things as it is now, and he was putting those little kind of challenges out. I did them anyway because they were kind of fun, like at the supermarkets. But he did the £15 challenge at a bottle shop, so I went down to my local, gave them a shout out, and picked this one up. So because it was 18 months ago, once again, absolutely no idea how much I paid for it. I'm guessing it's probably about £4 or £5, something like that. I'm sure he told me about it at the time, but it definitely says stout on the front. And the only other thing I can see is Schwarze Madonna. So without further ado, apart from the 5-second countdown I've just started doing for some reason, just to remind us that everyone loves a pop top. Or do you? Let me know if you don't. I'm just a big kid, so I love the loud noise, nominally, and making explosions. So here we go. A German stout. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we've had a misfire. Oh no, I'm a bit. Oh no. Yeah. See, those two went off really nice. That was a little bit kind of damp squib. Really. Never mind. Like I say, maybe that's because it's been sitting in the fridge for 18 months or so. Let's see. Oh, it's looking. Oh, they're still lively enough going into the glass. Maybe it's lost a little bit of gas or something, but there's still proper kind of European pour on it. Get some good headage. Don't know if you know if you need some good headage with a stout, but I've put some on it. That's just mostly me being over enthusiastic, I suppose. But there we go. Yeah. So more drama going into the glass than opening up the bottle. Bit disappointed in that, but what can you do? You do generally get value for money with a German. Yeah, absolutely. To be fair, all of the European beers, even in this country, I mean, I think that was off my local like a bottle shop on the way home from work. I don't even normally go in. That was like it was either £2.39 or £2.79, but £3 for under £3 for a 500ml bottle isn't bad. To be fair, obviously imported. Don't know anything about the brewery. Might well be owned by like your big guys, AB InBev, for all I know. Hopefully they're independent. Had to slip a little innuendo in. It's always good to slip one in now and again. So yeah, obviously when we're talking about headage, I think I just invented that word. Always good to get a bit of headage on your beer. Well, it looks pretty good in the glass, eh? Just going to go there for the photo. Where did I put the bloody camera? I moved it out when I moved it away when that Belgian beer overtopped. Oh, there it is down there. Disco said headage. It should be capitalised, Paul. Why aren't multiple word hashtags capitalised? Unless that's your entry for the hashtags in comments section. Please look in the video description for that. Just a little hill I have to die on. Why aren't multiple word hashtags capitalised? Because it hashtag makes them easier to read. Anyway, what do I know? I always have these random like hills to die on. These random ones that make no sense, but every sense in my head. Right, this is really difficult with this light to get the photo. Mr. Wilson, so you're slipping, and so is everybody else. Not only did we not do the photo reminder, we didn't do beer number 3, please. Because I've got a mind like an absolute broken sieve. So there we go. Beer 3, all I know, Schwarze Madonna. It's a German stout. No, Paul, no. I don't mean all has to be capitalised. That doesn't help because you still can't. The individual words have to be capitalised so you can read the individual words. But bless you for trying, sweetheart. Bless you for trying. I mean, thanks for listening. He did kind of listen if you misunderstood. I know Paul can take that, so I think I'm okay there. Yeah, no, capitalise the individual words so that you can actually read what it says. It's not homework. You're not getting marks on this, by the way. Well, I have. Oh, what's going on here? Now I can't seem to put any. Oh, there we go. Heat has done me falling asleep, or is it just me waffling on? Well, as long as you keep the thing on. What was I watching? Oh, the Spiffing Brit. He was talking about putting videos up at like midnight UK time, so people like will click on it and they might be tired and then eventually fall asleep, but they'll fall asleep with like a long video playing, so you get more watch hours. So yeah, don't worry, you can go to sleep, David. Just keep the video on. I've only got 20 minutes left. I do try and do a beer every 20 minutes, keep it down to an hour so as not to impinge on too much of your good folks' time. But here I am, an hour in, only just getting into the third beer. And what a beer it does look in a nice tall, it's not Stein, but it's a kind of Stein style glass. Head has dissipated fairly well. Haven't even got a sniff on it yet. My nose is well blocked up now, excuse me. There you go. Nice. I hate sniffing on camera. It makes me look really bad, but there you go. With my schnozzer, what can you do? It's another dry stout, I think. Maybe some more of that German barrel aging thing going on with a bit of oakiness, a bit of woodiness, or maybe that's just still knocking around my nostrils from that Belgian number. I like it a little bit more chocolatey, I think. It's been well chilled, this beer. I don't know whether that's affected it or going to damage it or whatever, but it's straight out my fridge. Cheers. Prost. It's a good beer. Do you see my face fall? It's another dry stout, I think. I thought I'd cleaned my palate fairly well with a big slug of water. But yeah, there's that dryness, there's that woodiness in there, kind of oakiness. I've had stouts like that with Sabro in and some other hops. I can't imagine they've got Sabro in this, but that's what it tastes like. That really dry, tannic kind of note. It kind of rips bitterness in half. Goes towards wood. Also goes to slight hoppiness. A lot of people really like that. I don't mind it, but I can't drink it a lot, and I probably can't drink too quick. I mean, I know I smashed that 9% fairly quickly. It's all right. It's interesting. What did I say about? Oh, I didn't say about the percentage. Let's do the no back label, just the front label. I mean, I love the artwork on the label. It looks proper traditional, proper old school, proper ancient. Well, not ancient, but proper oldie worldy. It says Maria Hilfer Stout. Maybe that's the brewery, Maria Hilfer. And there it says Kosselbrau. This often happens with a lot of these European beers. There's about 4 or 5 different names on the label, so it's really confusing unless you speak German, I guess. Maria, can't read that. Kosselbrau. So is that the brewery? Or is Maria Hilfer the brewery? So 5.5%. I can read that. That's easy to read. So 5.5% stout. So we're coming back down. Schwarze Madonna, Obergariges Spätzlebier. So that means special beer. My German is not good enough to know what You're pretty good at reading German. Obergariges. Well, Ober is, I think, over. Don't know. So it's a special beer, and I mean it isn't, but it's some really good artwork. It looks like a church, some kind of church fonts and architecture on there. So I'm going to go with Kosselbrau, Maria Hilfer, and Schwarze Madonna 5.5% stout. Yeah, there's some kind of maltiness, I like Maltesers, bit of licorice, a little bit of that dry Sabro stout, that kind of tannins. oakiness. Let's do some Googleizing and see what else we can find, I guess. I do like to find out some more information if I can. So Maria Hilfer. I mean, this is as much for anybody looking in after the event. And if you are watching this after the event, after the live show, thank you very much indeed. Please feel free to make any comments, observations about the beer that I'm drinking tonight in the comments below, as it will be, as well as everybody in the live chat. Thank you very much indeed. Oh, here's another one. Special. Yeah, it doesn't say. Oh, it says Dunkel. Special Dunkel. That's on the ripped part of the label. No, you won't be able to focus on that. So Special Dunkel. But then, to be fair, where's that? Oh, so yeah, on the front of the label also says Maria Hill for stout. Somebody remind me the difference between a Dunkel and a stout. It's a dark beer regardless. It just says Hopfen, which I guess is hops rather than what the hops are. Maria Hilfer. Well, let's put that in there. Maria Hilfer Stout. Maria Hilfer Stout. But in there we'll put whatever we've got on the top. Kosselbauer sounds a bit like Kozel, which is Czech. I mean, I know there's some overlap because there's a border. I don't know why I put a G in Maria Hilfer. There's not there. Save. And show. And then let's have a little look, see if we can find some information, because I like to find out things. Let's back on the Belgian style. Hilfer Kosselbauer Stout. Well, there we go. That looks like the bottle, to be fair. First one that comes up is Rainville. Kosselbauer shop. Well, there's the actual brewery. That's the brewery then, Kosselbauer. Let's see if Google will translate some stuff for us. Yep, we accept that. Yeah, Black Madonna, Schwarze Madonna. Hang on, I'm to my translation. There we go, Black Madonna. Ah, it says there. Let's get up a little bit for you. Well, there's the bottle. Slightly, no, that is exactly the same. Just looks slightly brighter on the label there. Looks like obviously some religious references there. Olgau Stout. Bavarian brewing art meets Irish beer style. Let yourself be surprised. It's funny that they reference Irish beer because they say about the kind of dry stout. I'd like to find some more information, but yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting too much. So, I mean, I don't associate Irish stout as a dry stout particularly, without it being specifically that. But obviously, there is plenty of like less than mainstream beers that are kind of dry. So yeah, there we go. That's what we're looking at. Fairly sparse on the information. So it is, as the style suggests, it is meant to be dry like that. It is leaving those notes. I'm not especially a fan of dry stout. It is good beer. It's really nice. Well, I say well balanced, but it doesn't bring out. I like my stouts to be chocolatey, malty, coffee notes. I now compare everything to Very Breck that we do at the brewery, which I always say is like two coffees and a chocolate muffin, or two chocolate muffins and a coffee in some cases, depends how it comes out. but this one's much more about them kind of woody notes, tannins, kind of slight hoppiness, slight bitterness, which, as you all know, bitterness doesn't really fall for me particularly well. But there we go. That's a night of European mystery beers, finding out what we can from the Internet of Things and from drinking the actual beers. I hope everybody has had a good night. This has been interesting and useful. Do let me know in the comments, especially if you're watching after the event and you're still watching, or you've just clicked through to the end. I don't know. 3 pop tops, 2 that went off proper popped, and 1 that was a little disappointing, but the beer was still good. I've got some other European beers in cans, and I might do next week. Do look out for that one. As I say, I've got a video coming out tomorrow. Look at that on the channel, which is the other Polish beer, the Brewery Staropolski, which is, funny enough, you won't be surprised to hear, another dark beer, dark lager, I think. And also, I do the same, trying to find out some information about that. So thank everybody who's popped in, Dave Rawson, for all the reminders of the photos and the tickets. So I've been Disco of Rasco and Disco Beer Review, and that has been another little Wednesday night live show with some random beers. And so, may or may not do one tomorrow if I get around to putting one up. Do look out for that after the event. And if not, wherever you get your beers from and whichever country they come from. Prost, and I've already forgotten the Polish, and I never looked up the Belgian for cheers. So, Prost and cheers, and enjoy the beers wherever they come from. Have a good one.